Good morning. Please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing We Give Thanks, which is number 1010 in the teal hymnal. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here and those far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here and those far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here and those far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. Please be seated.
Good morning. Welcome to the Eno River Unitarian Universalist Fellowship here in Durham, North Carolina. My name is Reverend Daniel Trollinger, Executive Minister here. Whoever you are, wherever you come from, whatever your race, gender identity, whoever you love, please know you are welcome here. If you're visiting for the first or second time, we invite you to rise in body or spirit so we may give you a proper ERUUF welcome. If you are watching on the live stream, please introduce yourself in the chat. After the service today, just after the service, we have an inquirers class for newcomers and visitors in the Care Building. Please join us for that. If you have children or youth with you, we invite you to remain in the service for this intergenerational service this morning led by Reverend Jim and others. The board has launched their annual congregational survey, pulse survey. Look on the website or visit Fellowship Hour to complete the survey. It only takes a few minutes. The board would really love your feedback. Next Sunday, just after Fellowship Hour, the ERUUF Justice Ministry has an all-congregational gathering. There will be a light lunch provided as well. Today, our special music is provided by the Sunshine Kids and Chalice Singers. Our tech team is Sean Trimble and Michelle Sager. King Sage is on sound. Wendy is our cantor, and Kate back on piano. Good to see you, Kate. Now is a good time to turn off your electronic devices or place them in worship mode. Let's take a moment and center ourselves for worship this morning. And let us begin.
Thank you for that lovely opening. And good morning to everybody. I am the Reverend Jim Lewis, Minister of Lifespan Faith Development and Pastoral Care. And I want to say welcome to you on this beautiful, slightly chilly morning, on this week of many events, on this week of the observance of Ramadan beginning midweek, on this week where we bring ourselves into community to co-create and thrive. And for our opening words, our worship associate, Sage Axline, could not be here, but I'll be supported by ARI assistant Melissa Smith. This is also a responsive reading, and your response will be the title of the reading, which is We Speak the Language of Love. And we'll give you a cue when that's time. We arrive from many different experiences and backgrounds. Some of us have trouble speaking. Others are so young that they're still learning to talk. Some of us speak English as a second language, and others of us can speak several languages. All of us share this in common. We speak the language of love.
Begins, and again when we return to the service of light. We greet one another with kind words. We chat about the days behind us and the days to come, and we speak the language of love.
We lift our voices in song, not to sing perfectly or in tune, but to hear and feel our voices form a life-giving sound, and we speak the language of love.
We form a web of compassionate listening when individuals among us, embodying vulnerability, name the fears that grip their hearts, the joys that buoy their spirits.
We speak the language of love. At times, our voices clash. We disagree. Tension enters our voices as we make room for different beliefs, different opinions, different perspectives. Through it all, it's our intention that we speak the language of love.
In this congregation, we welcome a multiplicity of truths and invite them to be named out loud. We prophesy, summoning the age when justice and peace will be evident all around us. And
we speak the language of love. Let us worship together, making room for one another as whole beings, tender hearts, hungry spirits, and curious minds. With our actions and with our words, let us speak the language of love. And as we begin our time together, Wendy will lead us in a hymn.
Please rise, embody your spirit, and join me in singing hymn 1012 in your teal hymnal, When I Am Frightened. When I am frightened, will you reassure me? When I am certain, will you hold my hand? Will you be strong for me? Sing to me quietly. Will you share some of your stories with me? If you will show me compassion, then I may learn to care as you do. Then I may learn to care. When I am angry, will you still embrace me? When I am thoughtless, will you understand? Will you believe in me? Stand by me willingly. Will you share some of your questions with me? If you will show me acceptance, then I may learn to give as you do. Then I may learn to give. When I am troubled, will you listen to me? When I am lonely, will you be my friend? Will you be there for me? Comfort me tenderly. Will you share some of your feelings with me? If you will show me commitment, then I may learn to love as you do. Then I may learn to love. Please turn and greet your neighbor.
Good morning. As a former Pledge Drive co-chair speaking to you on a Sunday in March, I was really grabbed by one of the lines in that, "May I learn to give." But that's not what I'm here today to talk to you about. Something equally important, and that is the adoption of the reimagining of Article 2 of the UUA bylaws. I have two important calls to action for you. First, it is critically important that ERUUF be represented at the upcoming UUA General Assembly with delegates prepared to act on behalf of the congregation. The rewritten Article 2 bylaws will be amended during a business session at this important gathering of UUs. And at that point, the document as amended will be voted up or down. The conference is the third week of June, but delegates need to sign up this month to enable them to be up to speed on the issues and prepare to make informed decisions in what promises to be a very dynamic environment. Please go to the March 17th e-news, where you'll find an invitation to be a GAA 2023 delegate. And also background information on the General Assembly is also available via another link. And if you choose to, you can go to the website where both items are underneath Connect in Community in the menu. Two important points. You do need to be an ERUUF member to be a delegate, but otherwise everyone is invited and indeed strongly, strongly desired to be a representative. And number two is that the deadlines for the applications are the end of this month, March 31st. Article 2 in many ways defines what it means to be a Unitarian Universalist. It is a living document which allows UUs to move forward toward enlightenment and to pursue justice in the world. So the second call to action is therefore also important. The UUA has defined a pipeline to get amendments to the floor for this General Assembly. The e-news has a link to a document describing that process under Reimagining Our UU Principles, plus there is a button on the homepage. The pipeline opens at the beginning of April, so to be prepared, ERUUF will hold an organizing meeting at the beginning of April, on April 2nd. Now there is a lot going on that day. Arvid will be here speaking. Those of us going on the pilgrimage will be having one of our penultimate organizing meetings. So a lot of us are double booked. So please, if you're a couple, divide and conquer. If you're a single, phone a friend. But please be here for this organizing meeting because amendments that are entered early in the process will be prioritized. And we want ERUUF to have a voice in this very important process. Thank you.
As an ERUUF lifer of nearly 40 years, I can count among some of my earliest memories fleeting glimpses of ERUUF's previous incarnation on Sparger Road in Durham. More vivid are childhood memories of trips with fellow ERUUFians to the mountain, to Emerald Isle, and many, many Sunday mornings spent in religious education, which were often followed by afternoons playing with the friends that I met and got to know there. But what I remember and appreciate most about my childhood at ERUUF are the frank and often surprisingly unguarded conversations that I got to have with adults who taught in the RE program. These folks, many of whom are still members of the community today, were caring and wise teachers, willing to share the full, unvarnished breadth of their experience with us curious and sometimes clueless kids. Their generosity and openness showed me a way to relate to other people, on the basis of honesty, vulnerability, and compassion. This example was invaluable to me. And I believe that through participating in RE at ERUUF, our children can receive the same blessing and form equally cherished memories of their own.
RE continued even when this campus shut down. In the spring of 2021, Cora participated in a class called Books and Cooks over Zoom. Together, we made dishes from around the world while learning about issues like food justice, sustainability, and migrant workers' rights. We even gathered at ERUUF to create forage salads from plants growing on this campus. When we were isolated in our homes, volunteer RE teachers helped us sustain community and deepen our understanding of UU principles in action. This past year, Cora decided to become a vegetarian out of a desire to protect animals and reduce climate change, and I know ERUUF played a role in her making that choice.
I've recently been interested in learning about Buddhism and Taoism. It's pretty neat that I get to explore that interest here at ERUUF. This past Friday, I got to visit the Hindu Society of North Carolina with my Crossing Paths RE class. Earlier this year, we learned about Unitarian Universalism, Judaism, Catholicism, and Islam, and visited local faith communities to deepen our understanding. Our RE teachers give freely of this time to make this opportunity available to all middle schools of ERUUF.
And as we've already had a chance to hear this morning, music also plays an important part of our connection to ERUUF. Both of our children started in Sunshine Kids and now sing with Chalice Singers. Thanks to the dedication of members of this congregation, our children can build community through song.
Hi, I'm Cora, and I love ERUUF, mostly because of Chalice Singers, because it lets me sing, and singing is my passion. And I also love getting to perform and be part of a community, so that's why I love ERUUF.
Always that moment when you have to follow wonderful speakers. It's like, oh no, oh no. As you might notice, our service is in a slightly different order today. Oh, wonder and excitement. Let me see. When you came in, hopefully most of you got a piece of paper and a crayon. Give me a wave if you didn't get that. If you did not. All right, there's just a few hands up. Wow, greeters, wonderful job. Wonderful job, greeters. And I'm going to invite you as we begin this homily to first engage in an activity that might put some of us in contact with our vulnerability. You can sit for this, or you can stand for this. Actually, we're going to sit for it right now because I've still got a few people with hands up. But the first thing I want you to do, and those people with hands up, keep them up for a moment, But meantime, everybody else, let's move our heads around to take a look at our community. See who all's around you. And then I might ask you, from where you're sitting, just to move your feet. Move your feet with excitement. Move your feet in anticipation. That's coming up next. All right. Good. And then, okay, good. We've got a few people over here. Next, and I'm hoping this won't be confusing for our lovely greeters, everybody else, could you wave arms to say hello to your neighbors? Hello, hello, hello. Get some movement in our bodies, a little bit of movement. Thank you so much. Find a little movement is good. All right, so to begin, when I think of the closest connections in the course of my life, they have been with people and communities where I can open up a bit, be myself, and admit that I have a real, soft, and tender part of my person. So I'm going to start by telling you about how I made one of my best friends. This is the story of one of my closest friends whose name is also Jim, strangely. Our first meeting, we laughed at having the same name, Jim, in an era where the name Jim is not as common as it was in our parents' young adulthood. Then we went about our separate events for the evening, not thinking much about it. A little over a week later, our paths crossed at another gathering. We said, hello, and he asked, how was your week? And I told Jim, I got broken up with on Tuesday. And I was very sad about this. And I said, how was your week to Jim? And Jim responded, I got broken up with on Friday. And I joke that we have been friends ever since. The deeper reality is in that moment, we decided to trust each other with a piece of our vulnerability, a piece of ourselves that was soft and tender. And the other person was able to reach out and be caring with that soft and tender piece. Since that time, we have been solid, caring supports for one another. And besides holding those softer and more tender vulnerabilities, we've been able to create social connections with others, gaming groups, and a variety of other wonderful, fun moments. So why vulnerability today? Last week, Reverend Jacqueline spoke on co-creation in community, and if you haven't heard it yet, I highly suggest you check out that recording. As I think about co-creation in a congregational community, an extremely important part of any intentional community, I want to encourage us to make part of how we engage be from a heart-centered place. A space where we are willing to let others know us well, maybe see some of our worries and our fears. Many times, even in work where we are thinking deeply, this allows us to bring what we are doing in the world back to the why of what we're doing. It helps us make sure to keep those that most need whatever we are creating, to make sure they are in the room as co-creators. Speaking our vulnerability also allows us space to admit what we do not know. How many people here know everything? Maybe one person. Vulnerability, children are actually often good at this. There's been many times that I've watched children charge headfirst into a situation, ready to make friends, connect with others, and sometimes even openly make mistakes. And also, it's okay to be uncomfortable with being personally vulnerable. There are many reasons why we put up walls against revealing our own soft spots, fears, and vulnerabilities. Some people are challenged to show vulnerability because of events connected to identity. On one hand, men and some currently able-bodied people are often socialized not to show softness, insecurities, or physical challenge because it may be perceived as weakness. And on the other hand, writer and producer Anupa Mistry points out that what I am talking about in most of my time today is vulnerability of the heart and vulnerability of the spirit, but there is also being, quote, being actually vulnerable in terms of your social status, which affects many who are marginalized and part of marginalized communities, and also many of us who have had specific experiences in our lives that were very harmful or traumatic. In my view, the pain experienced or validly feared in connection to experience of marginalization can create walls and protections to keep others from hurting us. Another story about a fourth grade student I had once, many years ago. Before he arrived at our school, we teachers were warned that he and his brothers were horrible kids. He was quiet, sure, but not at all horrible. And he and I communicated well. We connected over time as I tutored him at the end of the school day. He and I became closer, with him telling me the raps that he had written after we were done with our work. One day, I noticed he started acting different and distant, and within 2 weeks, he was gone, sent to live with another foster family. This was a defense mechanism he had built up over time to protect himself from being hurt. He'd begun shielding himself from future hurt by creating that distance. So I'm acknowledging that my page turned. Pardon me. Well, okay, here we are. I'm acknowledging these challenges to being vulnerable here today because I will encourage you in a moment to reflect on where you can open yourself to be vulnerable in this community. Some of you already do, and we have some spaces where this is encouraged, like chalice circles, covenant groups, and some of our adult programming. And, of course, religious education. But I also want to hold that we are each on our own path of opening up and connecting to others. And sometimes our defense mechanisms might keep us a bit more distant, but they sometimes have helped to keep us safe, like the fourth grader I used to teach. So when we open ourselves in vulnerability, it is good to open as much as each of us can. And while I may encourage you to open a bit more, it's okay to decide for yourself what feels safe and good. So now, our paper and our crayon will come into play with the first part of a ritual. I now invite all of you to join us in this first part of community ritual. You were given pieces of paper and crayon when you entered. Find those, but don't write any words on them. Not for words. I want you to first just hold them. Hold on to them. If you already wrote a little something on them, it's okay, but don't write anything else just yet. Hold them and think about something that makes you feel vulnerable, or makes you feel scared, or makes you feel nervous. If you're someone who doesn't feel comfortable with feeling vulnerable, that's okay too. Maybe there's just a tiny vulnerability you can think of. Or maybe you can think about the reasons, sometimes very good reasons, that you don't feel comfortable with that. So now just take a moment to ponder something that makes you feel vulnerable, scared, worried, or nervous. Just a moment. And now, with that on your mind and heart, I'm just going to ask you to draw a simple picture, image, or even scribble to represent that fear or vulnerability or worry or that boundary to vulnerability. It need not look like anything. Just let that feeling sit on the paper. Just let it go to the paper. And in a moment, the greeters will come by to collect those pieces of paper so that we may hold those collective vulnerabilities, fears, worries together for a time. greeters will begin passing baskets to collect these symbols. And as our greeters finish collecting these symbols, we thank you for what you bring to this space and this community in the everyday joy and building and fun and construction of things. And also we thank you for allowing us to hold a bit of you gently and tenderly in this time.
This morning, I invite you to join me in a meditation as we lean into this sense of acceptance and connection. So let's start by taking our hands and placing them on our heart. Y'all can do that up here too. And focus on something that makes you smile. It could be something simple, sunshine, favorite food, a pet. And just notice how that feels. Now focus on something that you're grateful for, something different than the first one. And notice how that feels. Allow your heart to feel this sense of appreciation, and with a full breath, expand with gratitude and appreciation. And then gently lower your eyes or close them, but keep smiling. And relax your hands, but hold awareness on your heart. Just a relaxed breath. Now bring your awareness to the earth, knowing that everywhere we go, everything in our life is a gift from Mother Earth. Feel that gratitude, that connection with the earth, and listen. Listen with the heart. And with a breath, I invite you now to connect with the heart of the earth. And notice how that feels to connect heart to heart. With intention and focus, allow your heart to move into rhythm and resonance with the heart of the earth. And breathe into that rhythm fully, offering gratitude and love for this connection. Feel this in your body, and let this heart-to-heart connection grow in a natural way And notice how you feel inside now. Notice when you send out gratitude and connect, what comes back. This simple practice of connecting to the heart of the earth is something you can do every day to deepen your connection to the earth, to expand your own heart and your capacity for gratitude and compassion for all life. Thank yourself for noticing, and open your eyes when you're ready. Bring hands into prayer position, honoring a sense of connection within your own heart, that center of love and light within you. May it be so. Amen. Ashe. Blessed be.
Little sea otters swimming in the bay. I didn't know what just to say. She winked at me with her ancient eyes. I could see she was very wise. She said the sun makes the oceans warm. The oceans warm the land. Only the stars that heaven outnumber all these grains of sand. She said the moon makes the tide go up. The moon makes the tide go down. The wind makes the waves that fall upon the shore. And love makes the world go round. No that whale swimming in the bay. I didn't know what just to say. She winked at me with her ancient eyes. I could see she was very wise. She said the sun makes the oceans warm. The oceans warm the land. The wind makes the waves that fall upon the shore. And all these grains of sand. The moon makes the tide go up. The moon makes the tide go down. The wind makes the waves that fall upon the shore. And love makes the world go round. Old manatee swimming in the bay. I didn't know just to say. She winked at me with her ancient eyes. I could see she was very wise. She said the sun makes the oceans warm. The oceans warm the land. The wind makes the waves that fall outnumber all these grains of sand. She said the moon makes the tide go up. The moon makes the tide go down. The wind makes the waves that fall upon the shore. And love makes the world go round. Wind makes the waves that fall upon the shore. And love makes the world go round.
I liked it. It's time for all ages. I'd like to invite everyone young, both in age or at heart, or who just loves stories, or who just wants to come up here. And I love how close you are. Let's make room for all of our friends and stay far away from that TV. Good morning, everybody. I have a very special story that we're going to read today. You can't see? How's that? That's better? Okay. I have a very special story that I'm going to read to you today or tell you. And it's we'll wait for you too. Hi. It's about a kid who loves themselves very much and loves the world and all their friends and family. And they notice that sometimes other people are not very kind to themselves and other people. And they have some pretty big feelings about that. So when we're reading the story, I'm wondering if you can tell me if you think how the main character is feeling sometimes. Okay? You ready? All right, it's called Beautifully Me by Bella Noor and illustrated by Nabi H. Ali. Salam. My name is Zubi Chadberi. Yesterday, I woke up before the sun, and I knew it was going to be a special day because today is my first day of school. I put on my blue overalls and my pink shirt with fancy puffy sleeves. Amma had made it just for me in Bangladesh. I ran to my parents' room to show them my first day outfit. Baba was helping Amma wrap her yellow sari around her body. She looked so beautiful, like sunshine and mango lassies. Oof, Amma said, look at this tummy. I'm getting too big. How'd she look here? She looks sad, right? Why was Amma so sad? Good morning, Dadima. Shubi shuka zubi, Dadima corrected. Remember to practice your bongo. My big sister, Naya, buzzed into the kitchen like a busy bee. Big sisters do that sometimes, huh? My big sister, Naya, oops, I already said that. Can I have oatmeal instead, Dadima? Oatmeal? Naya hates oatmeal. Why don't you want the parathas I made for you, Dadima asked. My tummy cheered as I smelled the flaky, buttery bread in front of me. How could she say no to parathas? Naya shrugged. I'm on a diet. I want to lose weight so I can look pretty in time for school, the school dance. How does Zubi look there? Yeah. She's kind of confused, huh? Like, what? Right. Naya is the most beautiful person I know. She's funny and smart, sweet as ladoos. That's my favorite dessert. Why would she say she's not pretty? I want to look good for my first day of school. Should I go on a diet too? Baba popped his head in the kitchen. It's time to go. Let's go, girls. Why haven't you worn the shirt I bought for you for the Eid? Dadima asked Baba. Baba laughed and patted his belly. I put on some pounds, Ma. I am up to a large now, not good. Does she look here? Yeah, she doesn't like that they're saying these things, right? My teacher's amazing. We did crafts, learned new songs. I have so many friends at school. My new friend is named Karima. How's she look here? Happy, yeah, she likes school, huh? At recess, some kids hop like bunnies, some kids run faster than race cars, some kids climb all the way to the sun. Alex, you look fat in that dress. Oh, Alex looks beautiful in their silk dress. It shines like the sun. But Kennedy doesn't sound like she's giving a compliment. Why is looking fat bad? Do I look fat in my overalls? How's she look here? Yeah, she's worried, right? She's concerned. This doesn't seem good, right? When we got home from school, Amma was waiting for me. How was your first day, Zubi? I thought about what happened during recess. It was fine. Was it fine? No, but she doesn't really want to talk about it yet, right? When we sat down for dinner, I was so excited to eat the kabar. No rice for me, thanks, Amma, Naya said. No rice? Naya loves rice. Oh yeah, I forgot. Naya was on a diet. I thought about large not being good. I thought about Amma and Naya and Alex. If they're not beautiful, how could I be? Maybe I need to change too. Zubi John, don't you want any rice and chicken? It's your favorite, Amma said. I'm on a diet. A diet? Amma looked confused. Zubi, you shouldn't be on a diet. Naya said you have to be on a diet to be pretty. And I said, and I want to be pretty. Why would you think that, Zubi? You are beautiful. But you told Baba your tummy was too big and you were sad. And Baba said large is not good. And then at recess, Kennedy teased Alex for looking fat in their dress. And I don't want to make fun of me too. I don't want the kids to make fun of me too. How's she look here? Yeah, it's like really, all the things have come, right? And she just can't take it anymore, right? She's had enough. I ran to my room and I shut the door. My heart felt like it was crying. Maybe it wasn't a special day like I thought. Zuby, Baba said, sometimes when people are feeling sad or hurting inside, they try to make other people feel the same way. That might be why Kennedy was mean to your friend. I never thought about why someone would be mean before. But sometimes we can be mean to ourselves without even realizing it. And when we hurt ourselves, we hurt the people we love and who love us. That's what we did to you today, and we're sorry. Yes, Amma said. You saw me being unkind to my tummy, but I'm grateful for my belly. After all, it helped me carry you and bring you into the world. I'm sorry too, Naya said. It's hard not to compare myself to other people, but I'd rather be me, your sister, than anybody else. How'd she look here? Surprised. You surprised? Yeah. She doesn't look so upset, right? Do you know why we named you Zuby, Amma asked. I shook my head and sniffled. We named you Zuby because it means loving and understanding, and we knew that you would make the world more beautiful just by being Zuby. I don't even know what beautiful means anymore, I admitted. You get to define beauty. Whatever your body looks like, beauty is how you make people feel and kind things you do. A beautiful person is someone who embraces who they are and helps others do the same. There is only one Zuby, and that makes you beautifully you. I can make the world more beautiful? Yes, Zuby John. Then you are all beautiful, I told Amma and Naya and Baba, just the way you are. And I gave them a big, big hug. You want to show me your big hug? Oh, yeah. Thank you for reminding us of that, Naya whispered to me. Later, tucked into my bed, and Amma tucked me into my bed and kissed me goodnight. And through the window, the moon and the stars smiled down at me. Everything was beautiful. It was a special day after all. My name is Zuby, and that means loving and understanding. I am one of a kind, and that makes me beautifully me. And there's only one you, and that makes you beautifully you. Today is my second day of school, and I'm on a mission to make the world a little more Zuby. Thank you for joining me up here. It's time to go back to where you're sitting. Zuby, Zuby, Zuby. Thank you.
Yeah? I have before me symbols of the softness, tenderness, and vulnerabilities that are held by this congregation. A symbol of what might come up for us when we, like Zuby, rush into the world with love and openness, hoping for beautiful things, or even the small ways we might open up just a little bit. Yes, we take a chance whenever we can, whenever we open up, that it might end up in sadness. That's true. But there's always hope, and that hope comes from knowing that we are not only Zuby in this story, but we are also Zuby's family and friends. One of the beautiful things about this story in my eyes is that Zuby and her family are working to create a way of being in which they will co-create and thrive. Zuby hears her family being mean to their bodies, and that affects Zuby. She feels badly about herself, but what does her family do when they realize she feels badly? They don't make excuses. They don't blame her. They apologize. They work to hold her vulnerability tenderly. They work to care about her in ways she might understand, even after they stumble. My encouragement today Yes. My encouragement today is that we each try to be more like Zuby in this story, as well as being more like Zuby's family. More open, more connected, and also wanting to hold each other as well as possible. Sometimes that is speedy work, and sometimes it is slow. Sometimes we lean into the relationship already there, and sometimes we have to build a relationship with someone. I imagine Zuby's family had been practicing if they were able to shift so quickly to being a support for her. Sometimes we will not have the answer to every question, and each of us may not be able to hold each and every person here. We do have quite a few people here. But my hope is that we can be reminded to hold each other's vulnerability with tenderness as much as possible. And through that mutual holding, our co-creation can be deeper and more transformative, leading to supportive and thriving community. And now for the last part of our community ritual today. In a moment, our greeters will invite you, starting from the back, if you're comfortable, to come forward by row, take one piece of paper from a basket, and then travel back up the middle row to where you were sitting. What you will take will be a simple piece of paper, but it's also a symbol of where someone else in our community feels tender and soft. So as you come forward and take a symbol of someone else's vulnerability, hold it gently and with tenderness, as we hope to hold each other when needed. care, with nurturing, so we may thrive together in the coming years. And now, our offering. Community, when we draw our circle ever wider and commit ourselves to offering what we can through our time, talent, and treasure, as we cultivate hearts of generosity toward the upliftment of our mission, vision, and our work in the world. As the greeters come forward to pass the plates, if you do not have cash or checks on hand, we invite you to go to ERUUF.org on your device and hit the Give Now button and follow the instructions from there. And I know that Reverend Daniel and Reverend Jacqueline would not like me to be remiss in reminding you that we are in Pledge Month. And you might see these nice ecru or eggshell cards in your pulpits. And on one side it says Pledge Card and even has a QR code and will allow you to go ahead and put in your pledge for the year. Please do that because it does help us co-create together. On the other side is a lovely piece about giving you a QR code for some digital giving. If you need assistance, you can also receive help in the office directly after service. The chalice singers will now continue with our offertory.
Don't let hurricanes hold you back. Raging rivers or shark attack. Find love and give it all away. Find love and give it all away. Wrestle bears bring 'em to their knees. Steal the honey from killer bees. Find love and give it all away. Find love and give it all away. Don't be scared to connect the dots. Dig for gold in a parking lot. Find love and give it all away. Find love and give it all away. Find love and give it all away.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for your contributions today. Thank you for your contributions today and everything you bring every day, every week, every month in supporting our community and creating community together. Thank you for being here and part of ERUUF.
Please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing hymn number 1017, Building a New Way. We are building a new way. We are building a new way. We are building a new way, feeling stronger every day. We are building a new way. We are working to be free. We are working to be free. We are working to be free. Hate and greed and jealousy. We are working to be free. Peace and freedom is our cry. Peace and freedom is our cry. Peace and freedom is our cry. Without these, the world will die. Peace and freedom is our cry. We are building a new way. We are building a new way. We are building a new way, getting stronger every day. We are building a new way.
To the world today, these closing words from James Baldwin. Love takes off the masks we fear we cannot live without, and know we cannot live within. Blessed be, amen, and see you on the journey.